Hey guys, I wanted to do a follow-up video to a conversation I had with Arsenal yesterday regarding the upcoming changes to the site and the ad-free subscription model, and of course how that will affect all of us, especially gamers. First off, I feel like I need to preface this video in saying I'm totally new. I've never received $1 from this site, and that said, I've been a long-time viewer, if that counts for anything. I think that's important to mention. To some, it may say that I don't really have a say in the matter, and that my opinion really isn't founded by very much experience. But on the other hand, I can tell you exactly how I've felt as a newcomer, how I've found entering the scene, and the overall sense of sustainability, or lack thereof, that I've gotten from some of the quote-unquote big guys. And most importantly, I don't yet have an invested interest. I'm not like a lot of these paid YouTubers who oppose any change to the status quo because the current system is working for them. So to begin, I am in the same boat as a lot of big YouTubers, in the sense that I don't want YouTube to change. The changes ahead don't signal good reimbursement for any content creators, big or small. We need big YouTubers for there to be smaller YouTubers. I cynically thought initially maybe YouTubers speak out against policy change merely because they're afraid of having their ad revenue shared with other people, and that they're going to have to share their revenue with the copyright holders. But that's not the reason. YouTubers who speak out against policy changes aren't simply covering their asses or spreading doom and gloom in order for Google to reconsider their policy that stands to hurt creators. They are in fact completely correct when they say that YouTube could die. It easily can, very easily. Which brings me to Twitch. Twitch is without a doubt doing things right. There is a donation button which I believe is 100% to the creator. It's revolutionary in comparison to YouTube's donation button, which, again, I'm not 100% on this, but I believe it takes a 45% cut, and on top of the fact that it isn't readily available to just anybody. More and more, we're seeing prominent YouTubers resorting to Patreon or uploading to Vessel to boost their support, and this is just indicative of troubled times. It is evidence that YouTube is not paying its creators well enough, which ultimately brings us to CPM. It's YouTube's advertising jargon for cost per mile or cost per 1,000 impressions. It's essentially the rate of money that advertisers are willing to spend to get the views. Word has it, as I'm not quite in the know yet, that CPM has steadily been decreasing since each update Google has implemented to YouTube. I think one could reasonably argue that CPM has steadily lowered due to the vast increase of the number of people monetizing their content. Essentially, YouTube is owing a lot more people. There's a lot more creators now, which seems good at first because it indicates the community is thriving and there's a lot of dedicated, talented people wishing to get exposure via the site. The downside, however, is that it's starving the big guys. And like it or not, all the traffic that smaller channels get are from people who have come to the site to see bigger personalities. That's the reality. Without them, we would not be here. It's kind of like a pyramid, in that full-time YouTubers are the foundation. They get the most, but we also absolutely need them. They're a necessity. So just consider this the next time that anyone criticizes Angry Joe, or anyone for that matter, for complaining about not receiving ad revenue or getting a smaller cut of the revenue. They might not have the legal entitlement, but their livelihood has a fairly direct correlation to us smaller guys trying to make a break. Less for them is always going to be less for us. For anyone trying to start up, including newer generations, if newer generations don't see YouTube as a viable platform, they won't join, they won't watch, and our favorite personalities will leave as well, leaving us with nothing but to start over. And personally, I refuse to believe that the web is still infant enough or volatile that everything is merely an experiment waiting to go bad or worsen enough until we must start over again. We'll likely all be kidding ourselves and end up in a similar situation. So there you have it, my thoughts on the current state of YouTube. Is it going anywhere in the immediate future? No. But this new policy change could drive some of the most talented people over to other platforms or further seek alternative support structures. I love YouTube. I can't wait to be able to say that I've been here for a decade, even if just as a viewer. So, long live YouTube.